Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and I use ancient wisdom to educate and empower women to unlock the goddess within so they can liberate themselves from trauma and limiting beliefs while stepping into their power, aligning to their life purpose, and creating a goddess centered lifestyle. There's nothing like creating the goddess centered lifestyle, like using astrology, especially when we're at that full moon. So, we want to talk about that today. How are you all doing out there? I hope everyone is doing well. And I send a big hug out to those of you who are not doing well. We show up and we just are who we are, when it's a rough time, and that's totally okay. I want to talk about the full moon in Pisces. This one is a really dynamic full moon. So, yeah, let's just kind of go through it and see how can you apply this full moon to your life? Like how can you really use this energy to for sure heal trauma and move past limiting beliefs, cuz Pisces is definitely a healing sign. And then we want to also look at um just, the practical application. How do we practically apply? It's Virgo season, y'all. Come on now. Virgo is about being practical. And we don't want to just be listening to a whole bunch of videos and our lives never change. We want actual change. So let's make sure I'm going to make sure we do that with this video. As always, I let you all know about the latest healing toolkit, and the one for the month of September is focusing on healing self-criticism. Again, it's all about tapping into that subconscious mind. Where is that inner gremlin? Like this Pisces full moon will definitely help us to be able to identify that inner gremlin. But it's always so good to use hypnosis and bring that subconscious mind into the forefront and really befriend it to help bring about the change that you wish to see. There's more details in the description box. If you want to learn more about this toolkit, you can get that information there. So let's look at this eclipse, which is going to be on September the 17th, and it will be at 10:35 p.m. in Pisces. It's at 25 degrees of Pisces. And this eclipse is the first one on the Virgo Pisces axis that we've been experiencing in about 9 years, but the first time in 18 years where the north node of the eclipse is in Pisces. Here right now, the north node is in Aries, and it's getting closer to Pisces. This full moon, the north node is still in Aries, but it's close enough to that moon that it creates an eclipse. And yeah, it creates an eclipse here in Pisces. So um, it's been 18 years since we had this happen. So it's a new beginnings happening in the Pisces area of our life. And we'll go over that. But yeah. And so this is a really big deal. I always love just reminding you all that I'm a spiritual guide, I'm a coach, I'm an astrologer. I'm just a woman out here who has used a lot of healing modalities to help heal myself, grow myself, empower and evolve myself to succeed in life. So that's who I am. That's what I'm about. I want to use these same tools, put them in your hands so that you can use them in the way that works for you also. I'm also about I'm a goddess devotee. I never profess a religion, but I tell you what, I'm here to remember the great mother goddess herself. All right. And so it's all about connecting with the great divine mother, as well as that powerful feminine energy within you as the powerful woman that you are. So, hello, how are you? So, yeah, we're talking about the full moon, and wow, this full moon definitely could be something about endings because Pisces is about endings and culminating something. So you want to be thinking about, are you tying up some loose ends? And this will be a great full moon to tie up those loose ends. Also, it's about revelations. This full moon is definitely about something that can reveal something that's hidden, something that it could be you just couldn't see it or it was in your blind spot because Pisces oftentimes is about there's a blind spot. We know something is impacting us, but we can't quite see it. This is one of the reasons I love hypnosis because hypnosis is all about working on that inner saboteur. Pisces, oh my gosh, it could really have to do with an inner saboteur. And that saboteur, a lot of times, is that blind spot. So, revelations of something that has been hidden. This moon, the full moon is always about push and pull energy and balance. But this moon in particular, I think will highlight it in a way that is a little bit more intense than most of the full moons that we typically experience. So this is the meaning of Pisces. It's several words and I want you to just look at this list and see which one of these words applies to you. Now, I might have some people listening via the podcast. So let me just read these words. Creativity, again, these are keywords for Pisces. Creativity, spirituality, endings, loss or lost, unseen, things that are hidden, adaptable, emotional, subconscious mind. Pisces is the subconscious mind on the astrological wheel, psychic, sensitive. I should have been in here and put in here intuitive, fluidity, compassionate. Pisces is one of the most compassionate signs ever. Healing, getting away, imaginative. It's also this energy it's all about being universal. And it's this energy that asks you to surrender. So those are one way that Pisces is understood. And so other words, which are keyword, I'll call them keyword cautions. I want you to look at these and just which one is the one that you're dealing with the most? So for those who are listening, deception, being spacey, drug and alcohol issues can be highlighted. But I want you to avoid overdoing any drugs and alcohol during this full moon phase, okay? Mental health issues may be more prominent, escapism, and being weak-willed, and it's not a judgment. Anyone who's Pisces knows that this is something that Pisces deals with quite a bit, and it's just we're sensitive sorts. We don't wanna fight, and, we're very agreeable. We're mutable energy. Pisces is mutable. And so sometimes it kind of manifests in being weak-willed. So those are words that you really want to be looking at in your life to determine which one or two stood out for you because they won't all apply to you. But you want to see which one really stands out. If it was one of the ones that was more leaning in the beneficial direction, then you may want to use this full moon to heighten that in your life. And if it's one of the cautions, then you want to use this full moon to perhaps help you to get a game plan moving forward to, yeah, move past that caution. So with Pisces, magic is always afoot, and Pisces is actually a sign that has to do with miracles. Now, one thing that I want to let you all know is that um, Pisces or eclipse energy lasts for it's a wave. Let me put it this way. It's a wave. So it's kind of like there's this energy where it's a little bit intense. And so like this one is the first one and it's giving you a preview, but this energy is being highlighted right now. It gives you a mission for about the next 15, 18 months. But it's also putting something into action that will play out over 9 years and then another 18 years. I can imagine 9 years ago, if you look back, there was something that was highlighted. I remember it would have been around 2015, 2016, and maybe the top of 2017. For me, I remember 2016 is when my friend planted this seed in me. We were traveling together, and she was like, "Oh yeah, with these eclipses happening in," maybe she said Virgo or something like that, but I just know she mentioned the word eclipse, and she kind of made my interest get piqued because I didn't actually understand what she was talking about. And then at the top of 2017 is when I had this dream. Now that's something that could happen. Pisces is the dream state. So it could be a lot being revealed in the dreams. And so I had a dream where I dreamt I died because I wasn't living according to my destiny. And I woke up out the dream crying, and it made me just say, "Oh, I'm about to live my destiny. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this." And that's when I found astrology. And I haven't stopped studying it since. I've been studying astrology almost daily since 2017. Now, the what has happened for me is this year I signed up for a new astrology course, a major astrology course that will last for a year. So you can see how there's in astrology in general, there's always a cycle that you're in. Things are always linked. And so I want you to be thinking about that, okay? So maybe there's a miracle that will come through for some of us. And this is going to be, I want y'all just to pay attention over the next 15 to 18 months, what's really coming up for you so that you can really focus on this mission that you're being given that's going to take you, for another 9 years or so until these come back, where the eclipses are happening on the Virgo Pisces axis. So another thing about this eclipse in particular is emotions can run very, very high because it's a water sign, it's a full moon, and yeah, it can be very emotional. It's a very intense moon because it's an eclipse. It's a moon that could be faded. Um, you know, we're already feeling this energy. I'm making this video on September the 9th. And I really do believe, sometimes it's hard for me to say this, but because people, first of all, always dying. But sometimes we really do kind of notice that it almost seems like there's a excuse me, flux out back to the spirit world. So this really could be one of those full moons. And today, James Earl Jones has gone and become an ancestor. And the same day, these two people are 50 years apart. Someone who's 50 years younger than him, the CEO of Waffle House, has passed on to the other side. Wow. I'm like, that's interesting. Because we do feel this eclipse energy at least a month before the actual eclipse happens. So we've been feeling it since August. Um, so just keep your eyes open for what you're feeling. You want to take care of yourself because the feelings could be deep, they could be heightened. Again, the psychic ability can be heightened, more creativity, more compassion. All right. And I want you to not do the escapism thing because we have a lot of energy in this eclipse that is like, hey, what I need you to do is to get real and to have a plan and to be real practical in your approach. That's the true balance that we are looking for with this eclipse. And it's not just this month, but while we're really close to this moon, I will say it is important. We want to be checking in with everybody that we know, making sure everybody's good. And if somebody comes across your mind, check them out, see if who are they okay? Let them know I'm thinking about you. Pisces is compassionate. Even if nothing is wrong, they'll feel so happy that you checked on them. I heard a woman say recently, I was listening to the Karen Hunter show, and she had I don't know what this lady's profession is, but it was talking about a woman who was saying she was so masculine. She had been married, and how her children were coming to her for protective type stuff, and she's like gang bang, not gang banging. I shouldn't have said that. She's out going, if they need her help, she's like, all right, let's go, let's do this. And the husband's just sitting off to the side. And what the professional said, because Dr. Hunter was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And the professional was saying the problem was this woman checked out on herself, but who even noticed? Nobody even noticed that she had checked out on herself, on her feminine energy and taking care of herself and being like, "Hey, no, I'm not going to do this. You got your dad. Go to your dad." And I thought that was just so important. It's kind of like, yeah, sometimes we need to be checking in on ourselves, but if we are checked out, we need people to be checking on us. And I'm just asking all of us sisters to check on each other. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm just going to type this in. How are you? How are you doing right now? I want you to tell me, how are you doing? Um, so let's see here. There we go. How are you doing, dear sister? Tell me. For the sisters who are watching the video, you can see it. And for the sisters who are listening to the podcast, I typed it in. How are you doing? Let a sister know. All right. I'm checking on you. I'm checking on you. Just in case you got lost and nobody's checking on you, I'm checking on you. I care about you. All right. Even if I don't know you, I'm born to do this work. And I was told to ask you this question. How are you doing, sister? All right. So are we clear? Yeah, Pisces can make you feel ultra romantic and dreamy and all about fantasy. Could be a time where you really want to watch movies too. So yeah, that's something else. And whatever you wanna do with that energy, maybe you have someone in your life that you can connect to and really enjoy the energy while it's strong during the full moon, or maybe this is bringing more of that into your life over the next 15 to 18 months. Also, you wanna be cautious of scams and lies. Pisces, I'm sorry. I love Pisces energy. I'm a Pisces, but let's be real. It's really an energy that has to do with scams. And not only just because of Pisces, but we have a lot of mutable energy right now. So if you're watching the video, I just want to pull up this chart. We have on the day of the full moon, there's 3 planets in Pisces. Pisces is a mutable sign. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. We have 2 planets in Virgo, which is a mutable sign. And then we also have Jupiter in Gemini, which is a mutable sign. So it's important for us to talk about this mutability anyway, because it's the energy of this eclipse, and it's what you will be wanting to focus on for the next 6 months for sure. And mutable energy is about being flexible and changeable and adaptable. And so mutability, when we have a lot of it all at one time, it it's kind of like you don't know fact from fiction. It can create scams, things aren't as what they seem. And so it's just really important to pause, because we always feel when something isn't right, even if we know somebody's looping us in, and you just want to practice maybe a little bit now. Like, I will pause, because again, this energy is imprinted on us over the next 6 months until we get the next eclipse, right? So that is something that we want to watch out for, but it is the strongest around the full moon. And Pisces is the most mutable sign. And this is one of the reasons it's associated with lying. Well, Jupiter is in Gemini. No shade on Geminis, but Gemini is a sign that will lie. It's not, I'm not saying it's an immoral sign, but it definitely is a sign where it's kind of like, I'll just say what I want to say, you know? And so those mixed together, it can really create this energy of there's some lies. Now, it's the full moon, so maybe the lies will be revealed, but we definitely always have to be cautious over this next 6 months around, is this person, is this fact or is this fiction? Can I believe this or not? And I just want you to really trust yourself to pause and get a second opinion. That is very important with this kind of energy. Also, Pisces is a healing sign. So, this is a moon where you can invite in some healing energy and heal the unseen parts of yourself, different aspects of yourself. Again, use hypnosis, some subliminals, and meditation. Oh, Pisces is all about sleep. Now, with it being a full moon, we may not sleep, okay? But it might bring up topics around what is it that you need to do to get better sleep? Why is this so important? Because sleep is a part of healing. It is tantamount to our healing. We need sleep in order for our body to heal. And we need sleep in order for us to have mental well-being and to have emotional well-being. The more sleep we get, the better. And if you're struggling with sleep, then it might be something that you want to hyper focus on with these eclipses being in Pisces. You want to engage in your spiritual work, creative activities, help children or people in need. These are all topics that the full moon could potentially be bringing up. It's the perfect full moon for people who are in healthcare, for healers and creatives, psychics and intuitives, people who are in the hospitality industry, nonprofits and charities. Now I'm going to make a um a little bit of a prediction. Honestly, I can't stand the prison industry. And so I hope that there will be something that comes through where there will be things that make it better for people who have to be in prison. So we might hear something about prisons because this actually does have to do with prisons. It could be something around even things like where dorms, people living in dorms. It could be something that we're hearing around uh, science labs. The full moon could bring something up around anyone that works in that industry or just some revelation around that. Nursing homes, it's worlds that are hidden away or are like a sub world of the greater reality. That those are all topics that could be coming through and being highlighted. Okay. Nonprofits and charities, I pray this will be a good full moon for nonprofits and charities. I actually work for one, and it's been really hard for some nonprofits. So I pray that nonprofits and charities will benefit from this full moon. And if you're a Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, this moon could feel very challenging for you. As beautiful as Pisces is, those signs get really activated with this full moon in Pisces, and it will begin to create a lot of change and transformation for you. It could change Pisces' life altogether. Pisces going in a whole new direction. For Virgo, it could change something around your careers. I mean, your relationship with other people. For Gemini, it could create a shift in your career. And for Sagittarius, it could create a shift in your home family life. Okay. So y'all need to get ready, all of you all that I just named, because change is afoot. So just use this moon to up level. So let me just go here because I want to give y'all just a little bit more details about this full moon. I just couldn't write out all the notes. So let's just see what comes forward from my notes. Because I've been learning some new things and I just want to try them out with you. I hope the paper isn't too loud. Okay, so I want to take y'all back to something. So the every eclipse that we have is actually not just an eclipse unto itself, or it's not just this eclipse that keeps happening over the next 15 to 18 months. It's actually connected to an eclipse that started long ago. And it's called being in a family of eclipses. And so this particular eclipse is a part of an eclipse that started actually in 1105, March 2nd, 1105. I was like, this is proof positive we are connected to the people who came before us. Because even if we don't know the history, we know um, that we're connected to them via this eclipse energy. So back then, things that were highlighted were actually a lot about Virgo themes and topics. Okay. So what this means is as we think about this Pisces moon and what it stands for, which is a lot, we want to always keep at the forefront that this moon is about moving into more organization, and it's like using the gifts and talents of Virgo, using what Virgo is good at, which is problem solving, organization, having a system. And I really think that all of this is so important because we're just in a new world. There's so many new things that are happening for people, and the old way just isn't going to work anymore. We all have to move into a new way of operating because we're in a new world. And, Virgo is like the dream. And how do we bring the dream from the invisible into the visible? Virgo. Okay. So it's really important to understand that. Also, Virgo is this energy that has to do with health and well being. And so there's probably quite a bit around healing. I mean, so many of us know that we live in a world that is toxic. There's just so many chemicals out there, and most of us are struggling to learn. Let me not say struggling. Most of us are having to really go out of our way to actually learn how to have health in this world that can be so toxic. All the chemicals in the food, in the air, the pollution, all of this is impacting Mother Earth and it's impacting us. And so, this is something that we want to keep at the forefront of our mind is that we want to continue to work on being healthy and body, mind, and spirit emotionally also. So that's really important. The thing that kind of stood out for me is there's this energy back then that hold on, I want to check something really quickly. Ew. I was looking to see, can I figure out what was happening in 1105? And oh my God, it was hard to try to find something. Let's just say most of the history definitely is focused on what was happening in Europe, maybe a little bit in Asia. And, yeah, I didn't see anything about women, but it's definitely very religious. It was a lot about popes, and then there was all this energy of conquering. So it kind of speaks to this Virgo energy that I want y'all to just really I spoke about this in the monthly video. I want you to really begin to think about where do you feel oppressed and where do you need to be, standing in your power and shift that energy into how can you use it to game plan moving forward and manifesting what you want in your life. But I definitely think there's something about that will be a focus for a lot of us just because it was in that original eclipse. There's also this energy of this Venusian energy, which is not a part of this eclipse, but the original eclipse is there. So it brings in these topics around relationships and money, um, self worth, how you look, those kinds of things. Um, and honestly, what I think is part of our goal with this new eclipse season coming in with the Virgo Pisces axis is bringing in this balance between um, what's practical, which is Virgo, and what is spiritual, which is Pisces, which that's in this one also. Like you can definitely see there's a lot going on in Virgo and there's a lot going on in Pisces. And there's this energy around, what is it that you really desire and dream of? Because that's what Venus can help you do. This moon can really help you and it's more of it can really help you to manifest, and it's more of like connecting with the universe. It's co-creating your reality, which is always Pisces. But some of it might be something about working with other people. How do you work with other people to create what you want? Okay. um yeah, so this moon in particular, wow. It is, all of what I've been talking about, with respect to Pisces, definitely bringing in a lot of healing energy. Where do you need to heal? But you've got to do practical steps. We're not just dreaming with this moon. There's so much in this moon that's like, hey, if you want it, you got to do something about it. Now, I'll tell you what area of life it is because I'm going to go through the signs. But yeah, that's something to really think about. Um, there's also the energy of Scorpio and Capricorn. Again, this is just an astrology technique that I'm using. And so it's like this energy of strategy. Scorpio is always, always about strategy. Now, because it's a full moon, it could be revealing the strategy because I feel like this full moon is one that's kind of giving you a heads up about where you're going to be headed. It's kind of like the preview of that. All right. So maybe you're going to get a strategy. Going back to the healing topic, it could be because Scorpio is obsession, Pisces is addiction. And it might be that you need to come up with some type of plan to heal any kinds of addictions that you may have and any obsessions. What are you obsessed with? Now, sometimes we're obsessed with things and it's beneficial. But if you're obsessed with something that is ruining your life, then this full moon might be indicating this is what you're going to be working on over the next 15 to 18 months. And do you want to be liberated from it? This full moon definitely has the energy of liberation from it. And with the Capricorn being a part of this moon, there's this energy of being patient and sticking and staying because you're following a plan. Capricorn and Virgo work so well together because, and why am I talking about Virgo? I know it's the Pisces full moon, but we have the sun and Mercury and Virgo on the day of the full moon. And so that's how we bring in this energy. It's kind of like, how do you make manifest what's going on over here in Pisces, or how does Pisces need to be balanced out to make this all work? And it's you go over here and you look at what's in Virgo. What does Virgo stand for? And Virgo is always these to-do lists. It's like I check, here's my list of things to do, or sometimes it's like you have to reverse engineer. You think about where you want to be, and then you think about all the steps that it takes to get there. You reverse engineer it. That's that Virgo. Virgo's going to reverse engineer and it's going to let you know, okay, now the first thing I need to do is this. And then the second thing is this. And that way you can continue to make progress. You can continue to stick and stay, and you can actually get to where you want to be. And whenever you manifest something where Capricorn is mixed in, then you will actually get to keep it because Capricorn is like this tried and true methodology. I think that's something that a lot of us might want to consider. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that we can do that are new, mm, but whenever there's Capricorn and Saturn on in the mix, because Saturn is in Pisces, there's this energy of a tried and true path that will get you to exactly where you want to go. So I feel kind of like it's this energy of, back in the day, there was a lot that we did that actually worked, and people either have forgotten it or they kind of poo poo. Oh, that's the way they did it back then. Well, there's something to it that we might be realizing, oh, I need to revisit what I was doing back then or what the old folks were doing back then. And that'll help me in this life. I think this is a very karmic moon, also. There's so much energy around karma. And so, karma is neither, it doesn't have to be bad. Let me just say it that way. So it could be a full moon where your karma is coming forward. You're going to be rewarded, or you're going to feel like, oh, yeah, this karma is coming back around because I did something wrong to somebody else or whatever. And now it's coming back. But the good thing about karma, if it feels negative, is you get to settle it up. All right. So I do think that this would be very karmic. Um, and again, it could be sort of like, where have you felt oppressed in your life? This is your opportunity to end that karma and step into something new. And it's not just right now, over the next 6 months to 18 months. Um, let's see. Is there anything else? This moon can, I think, heighten our intuition over the next 18 months. So make sure that you are trusting your intuition and staying in tune with that intuition. I also believe that this full moon can give you the energy. Let's go through to fix something, and you're going to stick and stay while fixing that thing, and it's going to give you that energy to actually, get the gumption to get up and actually start doing that thing. It might be, maybe you're going to go about, well, it's maybe something that was already there, and like there's this new direction you need to go in, and it's like that's what you're going to be adapting it to. That's what you're going to be fixing it, because again, this is a mutable energy. And let's see here. Yeah, there's definitely something about shedding. So maybe you're going to shed karma, or there's just a shedding, a releasing, a purging, letting go that I see around this full moon. And let's see here. I said that. Oh, okay. So I really do think that there's definitely this energy of having faith in something that you can't see. And it could be either the higher power is going to be supporting you, or you just have so much faith in that thing that you want to bring forth. It's just like, I just know it. I can't see it yet, but I just know it's coming. Jupiter is in Gemini down here. Jupiter's down here. So why is Jupiter important? Because Jupiter rules the full moon. And so it's down here working on the mind. I also think that this is a full moon where it's asking you, are you keeping your eye on the big picture? It's very important for that to happen. Keep your eye on the big picture. And if you don't have the big picture, then this full moon maybe is going to help you to get that big picture more, see it more clear. I also think that it's important to work on our mind, our mindset. This is a full moon. It's kind of like your mindset is going to dictate. Do you have a mindset that's a growth mindset, or is it one that limits you? The more you can step into an expansive mindset and possibility, then that will support you. And, Gemini is a relational sign. So, excuse me. Yeah, Gemini is a relational sign. So, could be something about relationships that are coming up. And maybe there's some relationships that's going to activate you. And then there's maybe some relationships that it's kind of like, this may not be the best group. It's like a little group, a little friend group. Maybe you need to shift that friend group a little bit. And, Jupiter is actually not the best in Gemini. So I just kind of feel like this full moon will bring up this energy where it's like, I want to grow so badly, but it might feel like you can't quite get there yet, but you're going to get there. Okay. You're going to get there. Just keep the vision high or intuit the vision. The other thing that is happening with this moon is, I'm telling you, this moon is packed. Woo! The moon interacts with Pluto, which is back in Capricorn for a very short period of time. I mean, like, this is significant because Pluto is leaving Capricorn and we'll never see it there again in our lifetime. And Pluto is all about transformation, change. It brings in this energy of destruction. So it could be that it's like you feel like you're ready to make the change um, coming from Pluto. But maybe the change is going to be you're willing to do the Capricorn thing. I just really, I always say this with so much love, but I have to say it. I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to point fingers at people, but I just feel like we live in a time where we have forgotten the work ethic of our ancestors. And so it's not about killing ourselves because our ancestors did so much for us to live better, but there's still something about the work ethic of our ancestors that we can really take from so that we don't overwork ourselves, but by the same token, we need it. There's a reason we're here. They did something right, and we are here to reclaim that. So I think this full moon will help us to step more into that. And then it's interacting. It's right there with Neptune, which is where I was saying it's this energy of having faith in something that you can't see. And I just really think a lot of people are going to have very spiritual experiences where it's like the voice of the great divine came and spoke to me, that kind of thing. Um, but we do still want to just be super cautious with that Neptune being there. And then we have Uranus interacting with this moon, and it's down here in Taurus. And Uranus is always, always, always about a breakthrough and an up level. So we have these outer planets. A lot of times the energy of these planets, they can create real world effects, especially with them interacting with the moon. However, a lot of this is more of like changes that happen on the inside. So this moon is really setting the stage for us to have major change and transformation on the inside of ourselves that is aligned with our destiny. And now, the other thing that I found interesting is that they're all interacting with each other also. And so um, Pluto is trine Neptune, and both of those, this is definitely what we will see something blessed happening in society. May not, it could be on the same day, but it may be over the next 6 months, 18 months. Well, I'll just say 6 months for this. So what I saw that was happening in 1105 was it was just a lot of war. I'm like, what were they doing back then? Like, did they not have something else to do? War never benefits society. So what I love about this is it looks like one of the evolutions of this is there could be some benefit to everybody in terms of resources and, maybe even maybe governments doing a better job at what they're, at helping the people. Maybe even some big shift continuing to happen within governments. We saw the French people, and I think the other country this year was the UK, that were choosing governments that care more about the people. They have to deliver, but that's who the people voted for. They did not want the conservative people that don't want to help anybody. They chose governments that are more for the people, by the people. And this could be really lucrative. It could bring in a lot of good money. Now, I ain't gonna lie, could be in personally, I don't want the corporations to be making a whole lot of money, but it could be they're benefiting from this also. But Uranus and Pluto want something new and different, and it's bringing a blessing. So I don't think it's going to be bringing more oppression from them. I think in the end, we could be winning. And then they're both interacting with Neptune over here in Pisces. So it's definitely beneficial energy that's happening, and it's um it's beneficial for society. It brings in more compassion. So maybe it's kind of like everybody's going to get access to more resources. I don't know if the universal basic income is something that we will ever see in my lifetime here in the United States, but it's more of like that kind of thing. Like, why should people work so hard when the government has so much money or so many resources that we can make it really work for other people? So I'm hoping that more countries will see this happen for them, um, or more people will see this happen within their countries. So, yeah, this full moon is it's a lot. It's opposing Mercury a little bit. Mercury's a little bit far away, but I'm still going to just mention Mercury, which is again all about the mind. So there's definitely this push and pull between the practical and being dreamy, wanting to get away. And yeah, I just think it's just so important for us to just take note of what's coming up, because it's going to give you an opportunity to mm, create changes from the inside out that you really, really love. So let's talk about what area of life this will happen in for each sign. Wow. So this will create major change for all of the fire signs on the inside. This will most affect you emotionally. Y'all are going to be the most emotional signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And so these eclipses are bringing in this focus on healing for you all, healing the inner world, healing the family, and taking practical steps in order to do so. So for Aries, this is happening in the house that has to do with your subconscious mind, your inner world, your inner landscape. If you've been dealing with something where you feel like, I just can't figure out how to get this thing done, then you want to use this eclipse to help you to create that change from the inside out. And, using things like hypnosis and NLP, meditation, mindfulness, any tool that helps to shift the inner landscape. And then it could have to do with spirituality. So it could be starting a new spiritual mm, enlightenment time for you. You could be opening yourselves up to a new spiritual practice. And the one thing I will say, because it was so churchy back then, if some of y'all might be feeling like I need to get rid of religion, Pisces is a religion that can lead people to be part of cults. So this might be a time where some Aries are just like, I'm done with this cult that I'm a part of, or this religion that I've been a part of. It's not working for me. And you're moving into, just a new phase in your spirituality. It could also help with creativity. Any Aries out there who are super creative, it could support you in being creative, eh, just in a beyond measure, like beyond measure. And it's a time, if you've been overspending, this is an eclipse that will highlight that for you, because we have to remember we have to be thinking about troubleshooting. So it could be helping to troubleshoot around overspending, or, any of y'all dealing with any addictions, those kinds of things could be coming up. Mental health, Pisces is about mental health. This is a time for you to take some practical steps to get that healed. And this eclipse season is kicking off to help you begin to see exactly what that will look like for you. Next is Taurus. And so for Taurus, one moment. So yes, this is the 11th house for Taurus, and this is a house that has to, okay, let me just say this, if other people are listening. All earth signs are going to experience this in houses that have to do with their social houses, and their houses that have to do with the mind and learning and technology to a certain degree. So for Taurus, this is happening in a house that has to do actually with good fortune. So some of the Tauruses may experience major good fortune over the next 6 months and beyond, to be honest with you. And it is all about being gainful. So this one also is about goals. And, I talked about having a vision. So it's maybe this is a time where you get a better understanding of what your goals actually need to be. And so I think that for you, the Taurus, be on the lookout for that. And this also has to do with friends and friend groups and people who you have something in common with, and you're on a mission together. And so it could be highlighting some groups that you need to be associated with. Again, there's some karma here. So it might be some needs for some healing around friend groups. And so maybe you're going to find yourself with a whole new friend group. You're going to get released for one and you'll be connected to another one. Also, this one is about technology and how do you want to use technology? Or do you wanna broadcast a message? Do you wanna have a YouTube channel, a podcast, be on the radio? How is this how can you use this to broadcast your message? This is, to me, I love this house because also this house can create a level of detachment, which Pisces is also kind of like liberating you. But if you need to be detached from something, this can help you, especially something that you've been a little bit enmeshed with, because Pisces can be enmeshed. So, do you need to be detached? It's also sciency. It's like this having a methodology. So maybe some of y'all are going to be following a methodology, or you have a methodology that you want to follow so that you can get specific results. Oh yeah, it's all about equality, equity. It's a very much a humanitarian house, so you may find yourself focused on humanitarian efforts also. So for Gemini, this is happening in your 10th house. So all of the air signs will be experiencing this in houses that have to do with career and money. Let me see here. This is Gemini, Libra, yep, and Aquarius. Gemini. Where's Gemini? This is for not for Gemini, for Libra, Pisces. Yep. This has to do with the houses that have to do with career and making money, but also kind of like um it's definitely about manifesting in the material in a material way, but having that plan and that system, okay? So for the Geminis, this is a pivotal house for you. This is going to give you an opportunity to totally change or up level your career. It gets you more in alignment with your destiny. And so sweeping change could be coming your way over the next 6 months. But it again is all about helping you to step into the new. You may not feel ready on some level. It may happen so fast that you're like, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting this to happen this quickly." But this eclipse it could actually be creating the change, or could happen, in the next few months, or you'll just start getting whispers of how this is going to happen. In a way, sometimes when we have career changes like this with our um with the eclipse, you can't actually fully see what's going to happen. It's not all the time clear. But, that's something to think about, career up level, and, maybe you're gonna leave one thing that you had and step into another one. So I just wanna be 100 about that. And also, it's kind of like whatever this new career thing is, you might start seeing like how you need to be living your lifestyle in order to navigate this new career. This is also about family. This could bring up something about maybe something with the parents. Uh, some parental topic could come up, as well as marital topic. For women in particular, the 10th house also speaks to your marital status. So for some of the Geminis out there, the women Geminis, there could be a change in marital status also. So be prepared. Gemini, I need you to be ready. The last time you had big changes was, I think it was around 2021, early 2022. You're back in rotation. You're back in rotation. Okay, Cancer, this is happening in your ninth house. So this is another house that has to do with good fortune. So I want you to open yourself up to good fortune. This is growth and expansion also. I loved it when I had the North Node eclipse in my ninth house. I grew, I expanded. It was like I had some beliefs that I outgrew. I changed how I looked at the world. You can find new teachers during this time. You could just the whole philosophy of your life could shift and just go in a whole new direction. And so that's something, this is Pisces, so it definitely could be a spiritual experience for the Cancerians. Again, whenever we're talking about a house like this, we do need to be careful that we're not part of cults or we don't get into religious fanaticism. This is definitely where this could occur, Cancerians. So we want to avoid that. But make no mistake about it. Some of y'all are going to be getting deeper into spirituality or religion. Some of you will be traveling. I did travel when I had the eclipses in this house. Wait a minute, did I? I think I did before the pandemic hit though. Um so yeah, it's something about traveling to other countries and foreign lands or doing business with people in other countries. You'll find this to be a topic that comes up quite a bit at this time. And again, it's all about growth and expansion and, expanding your horizons. You could be one who is like, oh, I lost the vision. Now I can see the vision. That could be coming through more over the next 6 months also for you. And this vision that you get, this thing is going to last probably a good 9 months easily. I mean, 9 months, 9 years easily. And also, if you want to publish a book, I want all of the Cancerians out there to use this full moon to really see what is coming to you around writing a book, publishing the book. If you need more publicity, let's say you have a business and you need more publicity, or just you need more publicity around career, or it might be something fun that you're doing. Like the ninth house is actually a fun house, and you just want more publicity in that fun thing that you're doing, okay? So it's definitely a house where some of the Cancerians will say, I'm going back to college, I'm going to grad school or whatever. It's learning something on a higher level. You're going to get a higher certification in something. You will find that also. And it's a time where you can begin to reframe things. You can step into forgiveness. You can step into being more grateful. This is such a wonderful, wonderful house. So I'm excited for you, Cancerians. Y'all need all the help y'all can get right now. So that's what I have for the Cancerians. Okay, for Leos, I mentioned with the Aries, this is definitely an eclipse that will be very emotional for all fire signs. And this one will be going deep into the eighth house for Leos to do some healing, like digging deep. Or maybe if you do research, this is going to really help you with doing research. But it can really help with maybe doing an archaeological dig within yourself to like get to the root cause of something and really create profound healing. It's just how it is. Man, the eighth house is not a fun house, but it can help you to navigate anything that is a little bit chaotic or, like I said, lack of healing, so that you can step into the next phase, which has to do with hope and optimism and growth and expansion, just like I was talking about with the Cancerians. And it is a money house, so it could be focusing on debt, taxes, scholarships, grants, your partner's money could be your life partner, or it could be a business partner or something like that. Shared resources could be bringing up topics around that. And I really do think it's going to highlight what you need to be focused on. It'll be giving you a hint of what's to come. It also is about trust, intimacy, and sexuality. And so for some of the Leos, this could be a major topic where you are like, why don't I trust people? Or I want more intimacy. And you are exploring your sexuality. You want it to be, it feel better to you or something like that. Or maybe you need to heal something around it. So that's the eighth house. It's the work where it's like we just deep dive into the muck and the mire, but we're gonna get things healed up. One of the greatest remedies that I offer when you're dealing with the eighth house, which you will be dealing with Leo over the next year and a half easily, is deep self-care. You want to spend as much money as you can on caring for yourself. So make sure you focus on that. So next is Virgo. This is happening in your seventh house, which has to do with relationships, partnerships, and I think it's just going to be highlighting some things. Virgo can be very practical, but Virgo is a sign that could be in the codependent category. You could find yourself codependent, you fixing everybody. And so maybe the Virgos are going to be like, hey, this full moon is showing me I need to not be out here fixing everybody. And, it's like bringing more balance and boundaries around relationships. Now, it could be bringing in some new relationships, Virgo, because just the part of the eclipse that's in Pisces is about new beginnings. So open yourself up to that. And it's something also about legal affairs, contracts, and agreements that could be coming up. And it's like these will be in effect the contracts and agreements could be in effect easily for the next 9 years to 18 years. So hopefully you'll see some really good ones come through that you're interested in. Now, maybe you'll get a preview over the next 6 months. But those are coming. And if you've had any legal affairs, there's definitely gonna be a turn. And, if they've been stagnant, they won't be stagnant anymore. They will be making a shift and a change. So, also, this is about refining a thing. So some of the Virgos may find that they are stepping into um, refining parts of your life, refining maybe your what you want in a relationship, just using this energy of refinement, just making things that are already there better. Now, again, the seventh house is this energy that has to do with action and new beginnings. So there's new beginnings on the horizon for you without question. Um, Virgo, I recently had the North Node in my seventh house, and it did bring in a lot of new friendships for me, partnerships in terms of business. Oh, the seventh house is coaching. So if there's any Virgos out there who coach, this can definitely help you get a boost or solidify, get a start in coaching. Maybe you want to start getting coaching. So it could help with that also. Next is Libra. And for Libra, this is happening in the sixth house. So some of the Libras are going to be having a new job. First, full stop. You get a new job. This Libra gets a new job. That Libra new gets gets a new job. All the Libras get a new job. So definitely some of y'all will be opening up to that piece, as well as if you're staying where you are, there's definitely something changing. I don't know if it's management is changing or you're needing to do something new with your team, but there's something in the workplace that will be shifting for a lot of the Libras. And it's like how you operate day to day, systems, routines. Actually, some of the Libras may be really good at this, and you might find yourself, people are like, hey, can you come in and give us consult us on how to better, have better management of whatever the system is, just customer service maybe, because Libra is really good at customer service. But it is for you and your own routines also. So you'll find there's going to be a focus on your health, your well-being, and just how you operate day to day. It's like out with the old and with the new. Libra, you've been going through this eclipse season where you've been asked to let go. So it's kind of like the slate has been wiped clean for Libra. And now it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? How do I show up in my life now? Those are the kinds of things that will be coming up. So really focus on your health and wellness. There also could be something around pets, new around pets or revealing around pets, as well as how you want to give, do charitable giving. So that's what I have for Libra. Next is Scorpio. So this is happening in your fifth house. And the fifth house is another house of good fortune. So, Scorpio, open yourself up to some good fortune. And it's just like good luck with the fifth house. This is also a house that it could represent quite a bit. So pick out what works for you. It could be something around your creativity, your gifts. Now, this eclipse being there, it could just really put you in tune with these gifts and talents and help you to take them to the next level. Saturn's been in your fifth house, so it might be that you've been feeling kind of like, hey, I need to get more structure. I need to have more of a plan for how I use these. But this eclipse will just help to take it to the next level. This is a house that has to do with having your own business. So this could definitely help you with having a very lucrative business. It's also about just being okay with being you. So it's about, Scorpio is typically a sign where it's like, I can't lie about who I am. I'm going to tell you the truth. And so it just helps you to really align more with that. And maybe you're going to be asked to shine during this full moon. You'll really be center stage somewhere, highlighted. And, it also has to do with dating and sex, and so it could just be bringing those topics up, like, "I want more romance," or "I want more sex," or something around who you date, how you find dates. If you're already in a committed relationship, maybe you're like, "I want more of this in my life." This is a fun house, so it's about hobbies and having fun, and dating is fun, and so it just could be bringing up these topics that's like, because I mean, come on, Scorpio. Scorpio, you're a little bit serious. So it could be bringing up topics around having fun. It could be topics around your children or childhood. And it's something new happening in that particular area, in that direction. So just make sure you open yourself up to having fun because, Scorpio can be super serious. It could be, just obsessed, and it's kind of sometimes Scorpio is a little bit of workaholic energy, and it's like, "Hey, you need to have a little bit more fun, Scorpio." So get ready, you're about to have more fun, Scorpio. Okay, next is Sagittarius. So for you, Sagittarius, this is happening in a house that has to do with home, family, ancestors, and emotions. Sag, I know y'all are about like having fun and let's have these high level discussions, but baby, don't be surprised if you feel a little teary eyed, a little emotional. Okay, it's gonna be okay. But this is just where the focus is gonna be for you. Healing that inner world, that inner landscape is something new on the horizons for Sagittarius. And I even think about some of the Sagittariuses that I know out there and I already see how this is in operation for them. New home, some new thing around family. Now, this one could be your immediate family, or it could have something to do with parent or extended family. Something new is happening in this house, and it could be you get a little obsessed with the ancestors. You might want to get into real estate, or when I say the ancestors, genealogy. This one is going to shift the foundation of your life. The foundation upon which you stand is going to go away, and you're going to create a new one. And that might contain elements, some elements. You remember I was talking about, we're still pulling from our ancestors, the tried and true things. So you'll still pull in the tried and true things, but there's something new about just what you stand on. And this is important because it will help you in your career, to be honest with you. Um, there was something else I was going to say. So yeah, that's what I definitely a house that has to do with new beginnings. So you really want to prepare yourself, Sagittarius, for new beginnings. Yeah, you just want to prepare yourself for that. It's coming. Okay? So next is Capricorn. So for you, Capricorn, Pisces is on the third house, and I call the house the house of doing the most. It just be doing the most. So you have to figure out what applies to you. So definitely something around the mind, the mindset, and healing the mindset, mental health. Pisces definitely is a sign that has to do with mental illness, if I'm being 100. So it's important for you to make sure that you're taking care of that. You want to really do something about that, Capricorn. Okay. And you'll kind of be feeling like, I don't really have a choice but to do something about that. Affirmations are always perfect whenever we're focused on the third house. So you might just find yourself like super obsessed with affirmations. This third house has to do with teaching and learning. So you might find yourself teaching more, or maybe there's some new skills. In particular, third house has to do with the skills. You're going to be applying your skills in a new way. And, Capricorn actually is kind of creative. A lot of Capricorns I know, the more I think about it, they just have this energy of creativity that it's like, really? Because Capricorn can be so serious about the business. Don't go to the right, don't go to the left. And if we have to do drudgery type of work, we're just going to get it done because we're going to finish this thing, right? And then you see them just being kind of like healers and creating like, you know, beautiful things to eat, but it's like super beautiful, or artwork. I don't know. Like Capricorns just be blowing me away sometimes with creativity. So maybe there's something you want to do in the creative space. And this is a house that has to do with business. So it could help you have a business also, if that's what you want, Capricorn. It helps with social media, marketing, business. And so definitely, if you are using any of that in your life, it could be helping you with that. I need to just go back really quickly to the um the skills, because you this is again teaching and learning. So you might find yourself taking a lot of workshops or learning new skills. Also, you could find yourself in learn mode. It's like voraciously learning a lot. That's what I found when I had the eclipses in my third house. This one also has to do with day-to-day routines, but it's kind of like within the local community with, the groups that you are aligned with. Could be siblings, coworkers, friends, neighbors. It could make you really get active in your local community, in your neighborhood. Again, it could bring up topics around siblings. I'm telling y'all, this is for real. Siblings, cousins, coworkers, friends, neighbors. It could definitely bring up topics in those areas. And it might not be that it's you that's impacted, but one of your siblings or your cousins, it's like, whoa, this is a lot, or they're doing something new, but it's really creating a shift for you, or you're kind of like caught up in it in some kind of way. Not necessarily a part of it, but you're focused on it. This has to do with communications of all kinds. And, Capricorn actually, because Pisces can be a little bit of gossipy, it might be some of the Capricorns are like, "Oh, I gotta stop that. It's catching up." We talked about that karma. It's catching up with me, this gossip. But also it could be you're gonna write, or it just opens you up to having some healing conversations with people. Maybe you want to journal more, anything that has to do with communication. Now, this one also is about networking. It definitely can create networking opportunities. So you might kind of find yourself, Capricorn, like, I hear a lot of Capricorns saying, I'm introverted. I don't want to be around whole bunch of people. And next thing you know, with this eclipse, you can find yourself constantly with other people or answering email or something like that coming up where you just find yourself connected a lot with other people. And it can create a lot of trips. It could be business trips, or Pisces is about getting away. Maybe you want to start getting into planning trips. I mean, come on, you're the planner. So you might want to get into planning a lot of short trips. It could have something to do with transportation also. So how you get to and fro, it could be bringing up that. Maybe some of y'all are going to get new cars, or maybe you're like, hey, I don't want to drive a car anymore. I want to catch the bus or something like that. But definitely take care of your mind. Okay. Next is Aquarius. So for you, Aquarius, this is definitely about personal finance, your money, how you make money. Could be that you're going to find a new way to make money or something new around you and finances. Maybe you want to learn more about how to better manage your money and invest your money. And it could be something around how you, yeah, I think that's it. How you make money, manage your money, just all themes, all topics around money, self-worth and self-value. So it could be you're doing some work so that you feel worthy of making money. But definitely this is also that self-worth and self-value. So that could be coming up for some of the Aquariuses. Aquariuses tend to be pretty confident because they're so smart, but still there could be something there around self-worth and self-value, especially for women, Aquariuses. And people who have Sun in Aquarius definitely could be dealing with lack of confidence and self-worth and value. It's just the Sun is not strong in Aquarius, so that could be something. It also has to do with personal possessions. So you could just kind of get in this place where it's like, I want to buy something new. I don't want these old things. I want these new things. I found that to happen with my second house when I had the eclipses in the second house. Just looking at your stuff. Do you need to put some in storage? Do you need to, do a better job of getting rid of some of it? And, this has to do with antiques also. And so maybe some of you all will be um, more focused on antiques, or in rearranging all of your stuff, you find some antiques related to the family. So maybe you start connecting with some, family heirloom type of things. And it has to do with food and the energy pieces, like the energy you get from food. So it can make a lot of the Aquariuses start really focusing on a new way to eat. So that I do find to be um, pretty common when that part of the eclipse is in the second house. You also could really get into history and family, and just really this energy of self-care. It's very, very important to hyper focus on self-care whenever you have the eclipses there. So maybe some of the Aquariuses will want to get in the water or do use some type of water therapies for your self-care, because Pisces is a water sign. And last but not least is Pisces. Oh my God, I'm a Pisces. Woo, Pisces, your life is going to go in a whole new direction. So just use this full moon in Pisces to show you, it's giving you a preview of what you are going to be focused on. Is it something in your health and your well-being? Is it something in your appearance? Do you want to have a new look? Is it something in terms of like your life is headed in one direction and now you're going in a whole new direction? You can just feel the new direction that you want to go in. And so this eclipse is going to help you with that. So over the next 15 to 18 months, Pisces, I just encourage you to um, be, well, you're adaptable, you're changeable and flexible. Get ready. It's time. You're going to really need to lean into that mutable energy. And, Pisces, you have this energy of inspiration and the ability to love people. I want you to use this energy to bring that energy back to yourself first. And then you're going to begin to, take it out more into the world. So, in that regard, it makes me excited. And so, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say because it's an eclipse. And some of it is, like what's in your chart. I don't know what's in your chart. It's hard to really say what this new direction is for you with specifically without looking at your chart. Um, but yeah, open your oh, also the other thing I was gonna say is eclipses bring about fated events and they cannot always be predicted. And so there's this level of, yeah, waiting to find out what in the world is this going to be. And so, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the last little bit, I was about to apologize for this being so long, and then I'm like, this is like my service to the world. I will not apologize for my service to the world. Um, it's I just think I think it's major. So next is the oracle reading. Interestingly, I pulled from my mythical goddess tarot deck. It is called Ishel. This is a Mayan moon goddess. She stands for the moon. And she's Pisces. Oh my goddess. Okay, let's see what she has to say, Queens. I'm just going to read this whole thing, okay? Because I think it's important. So, Ishel is the Mayan moon goddess of creativity, fertility, and healing medicine. She is the weaver of the fabric of life, the goddess of childbirth and flowing waters. The many faceted Ishel is fiercely independent and the very origin of life. And she is the soul of the moon, weaving the colorful fabric of life through her magic and knowledge. From her skirt flows the river of rainbows. So just imagine a river of rainbows flowing out as she is the mother of all plant life. She communes with the source through her lunar intuition and profound introspection. The essence of femininity, she is the gateway to your deepest Piscean emotions that connect you to your life force. And this is what she says. She is making her presence known to you through your intuitive knowing, your prayers and dreams. She is sending you messages that must be heeded. Pay attention as Ishel calls forth your cellular memory from your subconscious into the light of the conscious mind. So that's deep. We oftentimes think about getting cleaned out at the cellular level. That's deep. That's a deep, deep cleaning. And our cellular level also carries the energy of our ancestors. It carries the energy of our parents, our grandparents on, back and forth on back. And it carries the energy just to a certain degree of the world that we were born in. All right. So that cellular memory is going to be called into the light of our conscious mind during this full moon. As you take time for deep reflection, many mysteries will be revealed to you. Let the information that surfaces assist you in making choices that honor the depths of who you are. Let the information that surfaces assist you in making choices that honor the depths of who you are, dear sister. So the next one, I pulled 2 fire cards. I think that's interesting. Uh, I don't think we have any fire in this moon. Ah, the North Node is in Aries. Mm, no fire. Interesting. Okay, so it's the goddess that has to do with centering. Centering. I like that. And she has to do with Mars and the sign of Aries. So maybe that North Node is going to be speaking to us. So this woman on here is spiritually centered in her world. And she's here to honor the power of light within you and remind you not to underestimate its influence. So remember the light that is within you. You are light, it is your true center. Continue to make time to develop your spiritual practice daily. As you dwell within the core of who you truly are and let it expand, you live in the world with genuine power. So you want to dwell within the core of who you truly are. And you want to let this understanding of who you truly are expand, because doing so will allow you to live in the world with genuine power and authority, as well as in communion with the great divine. And it will allow you to be centered and unmoved by the chaos of the world. Wow. Pisces definitely is this energy that is like, hey, spirits got it. Great mothers got it. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. The last one that I pulled is called um she's the fire. She's another fire goddess, and she has to do with expansion. And this has to do with the planet Mercury, and it has to do with Sagittarius. So I'm just going to say this is sort of like that Jupiter in Gemini. So it says that this fiery spirit has danced into your cards to ecstatically join you in celebrating what? The uniqueness of who you are. So dance through life, letting your passion light the way. Give yourself full permission to be fully who you are without limitation. Like this fun, beautiful, creative woman, let every cell of your body be ignited with your uniqueness and express it to the world. Wow. So that's what I have from the oracle. I'm not going to keep going because, yeah, I'm tired. This is my second video of the day. So I'm going to go on ahead and release you all from it. And I will trust that your spirit has gotten from it what it needs to get. I thank you all so, so much for being here. And again, it's Pisces. Lean into the power of hypnotherapy. Yeah, this is my latest goddess toolkit for healing for healing self-criticism. And it just really will go beautifully with this full moon. But I thank you all so, so much for being here. And I hope that you've gotten something from this sharing. I would love to hear from you, even if it's just one thing. What's your takeaway? How are you going to work with this energy? All righty. Well, thank you all so much. Wishing you a full moon, a beautiful full moon in Pisces. All right. Thank you all so much. Peace and love.